Hello all, K.M.K here, together with Falcon
Hi.
and the lovely Kucho Gate.
Whoa!
And today we are coming with another Dead by Daylight killer review. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, as you know, we got the Resident Evil Chapter 2, Project W, which is, a big thing because this is like the first chapter or the first franchise that gets a second chapter. What is your guys' opinion about this? That we got it now in second chapter. What does it open it up to? Give me the juicy stuff, guys. I will begin with Kate. So, what is your opinion about that they are having a second chapter?
Well, I think it's good because that means that the initial reception of the first chapter with, Nemesis
Yeah,
and the cast, Jill and Leon was really recepted well.
that's
So he thought, hey, let's bring on a second chapter and let's see who else we can add in to Raccoon City.
Yeah, and that is also coming from someone who is doing commentary for a game franchise that has multiple games in its franchise, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
because you are a Street Fighter commentator with, and that series alone has a lot of, well, you could say chapters of
Right.
franchise.
Yes.
So yeah, you know as better than anyone else how important it is that a certain franchise get multiple chapters in added to its established lore and such.
Yes.
So it's and it is good. And apparently, this chapter is, according to a lot of people, even better than the first chapter.
Ooh.
But then again, we both well, all three of us know that the original Resident Evil chapter wasn't a big success because of with all the stuff that happened. If you guys remember,
Right. Right.
with all
Yeah, yeah. This time at least we have a working map.
yeah, hopefully we have a working map.
Yes.
That
Right.
was the biggest flop ever because they they had Resident Evil and the map didn't work and such, and there were some bugs because it was one of the buggiest chapters ever. Also, for an anniversary chapter, and that is quite something. So, Falco, what is your opinion about having a second chapter in that potato of one franchise? Give me the juicy part, bro.
Okay. I'm also, happy for this addition in the game because, the Resident Evil franchise is, very famous and.
Yep.
Yeah, you all. Yeah, if you when you think about horror, yeah, you cannot not think, about Resident Evil. So yeah, this I like this addition, and yeah, I also think there were. Other survivors which could have been added into the game. Yeah, because remember in uh, the the first chapter they had to choose between two survivors which
Yep.
were Leon and Jill,
Yep.
and yeah, and so other survivors have been added as
Skins.
legendary outfits,
Yep.
yeah,
I'm sad
but
that my
still,
boy Chris
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
become a
but
separate
still,
character. I'm sad that
yeah,
my
yeah.
boy Chris didn't become a separate character. I mean, he and Jill would have been uh, good for the first chapter because they are an iconic duo.
Right.
Yeah,
And then
and
Leon and Ada later, or Leon and Claire, basically would be
yes,
yeah.
yes.
But that's what it is. So
Yeah,
let's go further.
but this time, because still one character was missing. Yeah, because I was waiting for her as a legendary outfit, but now she's in the game.
Miss Wong.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, the Bond girl of Resident Evil. You could say that. And
Yeah, why not?
yeah, and she played quite a few roles in some movies also, the Resident Evil animated movies. She had a big role there, and yeah, Ada is just popular. It's just extremely popular. But we will talk about her later. It's just I'm glad this will also bring open multiple other second chapters and such that deserve it, because we could get like maybe a Stranger Things chapter 2 with the return of Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But also, I think about a second chapter about Silent Hill. Also,
Yeah,
why not?
from what I've understand, uh, Silent Hill doesn't have another character that's as iconic as Pyramid
Pyramid
Head.
Head.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but for example, you could get a second chapter from Left 4 Dead,
Mm.
or Ash versus Evil Dead, or Evil Dead itself,
Right. Yeah.
or even a Texas Chainsaw Massacre second chapter.
Ooh.
But then but then the survivor. But because we already have Bubba, the
Right.
the camp machine of Dead by Daylight. So guys, are you ready to see the killer?
Yes.
Let's go.
So anyone that is new here or has there are now 2 survivors and we have 1 killer. So we will start with the killer this time, because there are so many survivors, and the survivor part of the video will be longer than the killer part. So we will first start with the killer. So are you guys ready? So we go to the killer.
Yeah. Ooh.
Hello, Trappy. And there he is. And oh, look who is keeping company.
Ah.
Yeah, the most talkative killer with the most silent killer.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yes.
This
That's
is
funny.
This is funny, yeah. This is really funny. I already see it in front of me. Wesker talking to Michael. You know, I'm a mastermind, eh? And
He's a
Michael,
listener.
Michael.
Yeah.
This is why I like you. Okay, let's see.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Very nice.
And he even comes with his Matrix cosplay. Wesker, I like your outfit, even though you look like a rejected Neo cosplayer. You do look awesome. A really nice trench coat. Oh, Ouroboros. I do
Yeah,
find
he looks really good.
I find the sunglasses a bit on the green side. Maybe it's just me, huh? He looks really good. Ah. Interesting, his belt.
His animations are nice.
Yeah. And he's an average size also. And he has a really nice combat knife by the look of it. I think it is a combat knife. Especially with the ridges there, because that is it's like one of those old swordbreaker swords, if you know what I mean. Because you have those old in the old medieval such, you had these swordbreaker swords, who are especially made to catch swords and break them. And that is what this knife. Dit is a real. I think this is a military combat knife. it's pretty nice. He's really dark. The clothes help. And of course he has the blonde hair as such. He is... Yeah, he looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let us just go to person to person. We will first start with Falcon. About it, what is your opinion about his looks and such, and his design?
So he looks very similar to the trailer. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it is a very well done character. Yeah, yeah, I can say that I like the sunglasses.
Yeah, that is Wesker's trademark, eh? The
Yeah,
sunglasses.
and I like it.
It's it's hard to take character serious that wear sunglasses during night. But then again, Wesker is superhuman. He is infected with the T virus. Who knows what the T virus did to his body? See, now this is nice. He takes his sunglasses off, and you see his eyes.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
he looks really good. I think if this chapter comes out, it is the redemption chapter of Resident Evil for the game here.
yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
this is the redemption arc. So now we go to Kate. Kate, you have played a lot. You've been in a lot with the franchises of Capcom and such. In your case, it is Street Fighter, so you know Wesker from fighting games mostly.
Right. Yes.
What do you think of his design?
Oh, he looks great. I think his proportions are great. His movement flows. The coat flows.
Yeah.
I think he looks, true to his history in Resident Evil.
Mm.
He looks great.
Yeah. He does look great, and also the combat knife is a real nice touch.
Yes.
It's a real military combat knife by the look of it, but then again, Wesker had to go into the military from Abrilla.
Right.
So yeah, even though he doesn't need it because he was just doing kung fu fighting all over the place. Like Neo, he was kicking, he was throwing people. It was Wesker is. It personally, I would have been cooler if they just could find a way to make Wesker do martial arts, like the punch and the kick and such. But they went with a knife. I don't mind. And maybe it is a hint for the future if Capcom is ever doing a Resident Evil 5 remake. Because they are doing a Resident Evil 4.
Right.
Even though I think Resident Evil 0, 1 and Veronica would have been better. But hey, what do I know? Okay, let's take a look at his power. So there's Wesker. And his power is Virulent Bound. Virulent Bound? Man. I
think you had the first time. Yeah.
Virulent
Bond.
Yeah.
Bound. Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of those times that I wish that I was actually born English. Because it's not easy to... Sometimes you get these... I think a lot of people would agree with me. Sometimes you get these words that don't come in your dictionary, and then you have to completely learn how to say it. Okay, he has a terror radius of 40 meters, by the way.
Right.
That is
yeah, bro. This is the biggest terror radius so far.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the biggest. He's the only one that has it this big. The other one is the Doctor. But that's only with add-ons with the Doctor. But if you have a killer with this high amount of terror radius, it gives a lot of flexibility of builds, to be honest. And Falcon can
Yeah, bro. We will talk about this later, you know.
Oh, it's space moving speed.
Because maybe, bro, I think this is the second best killer
Yeah.
for using distressing.
Yes. Yes, and that is something that really surprised me. He is. It's just so strange to see another killer, but then with this amount of terror radius. But from what he can do and such, it's only logical that he can do it. That he has this big of terror radius, and I think they will do that with some other killers also in the future. That work a bit in the similar way as him. So let's go to Virulent Bound, and I'm gonna read out what it say. The mastermind can barrel forward, infecting survivors with the Ouroboros virus, or leaping over obstacles. So it's basically like Legion. Press and hold the power button to charge a bound attack. While charging, the mastermind moves slightly slower as you press his strike. When charged, press the attack button to bound. If the mastermind hits the survivor becomes infected or further their infection. Should the mastermind crash into something during the bound, he will slam the survivor, causing damage. If not, the survivor is thrown, losing a health state if they are thrown into any solid object. If Virulent Bound hits a dropped pad or fault location, the mastermind falls over the obstacle. So, to clarify this, his power is basically like the blink of the nurse. That is his power. And Kate is
Only, we must only remember that, the distance you gain with the power is the opposite of the blink distance. Because, the first dash is short, and the second one is longer.
Yep.
So it's the opposite, with respect to the nurse.
I think that might be why they gave him such a big terror radius. Because here's my thoughts.
Yeah.
They could say, okay, well, we're going to balance out the nurse with being extremely slow and having a big cooldown.
Yeah.
With Wesker, they could be saying, if he still has normal speed, but he's all charged and everything, that might be how they tried to counter a little, you know. But the perks, like you said, the perks would work. Perk builds could be pretty nice, also with larger.
Yeah, it is because
radius.
It's a mobility power that he has, you know.
Right.
And we did this test, and it is a big range because we went to the Temple of Purgation. That is the map that we always use for these tests and such.
Testing, yeah.
Yeah, it is the best. To be honest, it is the best map to test stuff on. It has everything that you need. You can use the palace to show how far a killer can travel. But for Wesker, we had to use the temple itself because he literally, if you go to the front gate of the temple and you go to the side of the temple, he goes almost from side to side of the entire temple. He can literally with his power travel a quarter of the map. Of the Temple of Purgation, and that is a lot. He has a lot of travel speed, right?
That's amazing.
Right, bro?
Yeah, probably that is the reason for the 40 meters terror radius.
Yeah, and he doesn't. And we tried everything. He doesn't have anything like the Blight. He has no exploits, because Hugstack is an exploit, to be honest, of the Blight, and he doesn't have that. If he is in front of a door or he's in a small area, he cannot use his power. Wesker, he cannot jump forward. Because we were trying to do something, we were on a hill and Wesker's power didn't work. But then again, Wesker is bugged on the test server, so it could not be. It could not be intended. So keep in mind from what we are saying, Wesker is bugged at the moment on the test server. Falcon had a bug where he had like superhuman speed. and people were reporting him for being a hacker.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was reported for cheating. Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
in the PTV.
For playing a buggy killer. And they were, and the survivors were like, yeah, they overtuned Wesker. Wesker is overtuned.
Hmm.
And yeah, man, it's like, you know, we are veterans. All three of us are veterans. We know that there is a reason that sometimes people say bug by daylight. It's, but
You know, they say he's overtuned, but then you get these perks sometimes that'll just knock you on your butt.
yeah, it's there's things. Certain killers work so well with certain perks that it really knocks you on your butt. It's just they don't. The thing is, survivors don't understand that you cannot have
Yeah.
all the kills to be the same. It is okay that they did it, but plus there is also a learning, a learning curve to playing against this
Right.
killer and such. But to go further, and this is the best thing ever,
Mhm.
and that is when he slams the survivor for the second time. He automatically picked them up. He slammed a survivor against the wall, and he automatically put them on the shoulder. Do you know how strong that is? That makes it impossible to that makes it almost impossible to flashlight save. You know that. You slam the survivor against the wall for the second time, and you automatically put them on your shoulder for the hook.
Right.
They cannot.
So basically, this means you can counter pallet saves and flashlight saves.
Yep.
Well, here's the thing. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
He has sunglasses on.
Yeah.
So, but are we just gonna say that the flashlights would affect him anyways? Say if he's walking with a survivor, or
Yeah. To be honest.
Yeah, maybe Kate is
it could be a
talking.
cosmetic thing. You think?
Yeah.
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 Maybe we are talking about a base kit Lightborn, but that's not the case.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sadly.
Okay.
That would be nice, but the fact that he can,
Yeah.
if you play it smart and you slam them against the wall and such, the survivor should not be able to blind you anyway.
Yes. Yes.
So-
Right. Yeah.
And even body blocking doesn't work against him. Because he can just grab that survivor that is in the back and he will just slam them towards the other survivors and they all get damaged. So they are all wounded. So also he has basically also built-in, built-in Tarantophobia support. Even though he would not work so well with Tarantophobia because he's an ordinary killer, not like Legion or Plague.
Yeah, and to be honest, Tarantophobia is dead, bro. It was pretty strong after the new patch was released, but it got nerfed, 2 weeks after the update. So it's garbage now.
Yeah, because of the Legion and Plague players.
Yeah, basically, yeah, bro. I think there is basically Tarantophobia is another perk which will never be buffed
Yep.
because Legion exists.
Yeah, and the Plague.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
So maybe they should call it X Tarantophobia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, what I also want to say is Wesker is also one of the best killers for Starstruck support. If you think about it. Because if the survivor is wounded and you have this flashlight survivor walking behind you and such, and you down the survivor with the power, and you automatically pick it up, then automatically everyone is exposed with Starstruck.
Huh.
And remember, you have a 40 meters terror radius.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So, and you normally survivors can counter Starstruck by just going into the locker. when a survivor downs. But if you are dealing with Wesker and he downs the survivor using his power, he automatically pick up the survivor on his shoulder, and Starstruck immediately activates. So you
Wow.
so you will never be able to know if you're so you have to be non-stop healed, and you have to be careful where the survivor downs. But even then, it doesn't matter. He has this really big terror radius, and he's mobile, and he can jump over pallets. Wesker has good gap closing. He's basically, a nurse without being able to blink through the walls. That is what Wesker is. He's basically a nurse with some extra utility. we could call him the reverse nurse, because like Falcon said, the nurse starts with a big blink first and then a second blink after, a short blink after. And Wesker starts with a short dash, and then with a big dash afterwards.
Yes.
Yeah. So Wesker is pretty solid. So now that I explained all of this, now I'm gonna ask you guys, what do you think of that power? Now that you heard it, we will start with Kate.
I think it's got a lot of possibilities, definitely. I think he's going to do well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we got. He has the potential to be an S tier killer.
Yes.
Yeah, if maybe he will be one of the 4 S tier killers. Depending on once we know when the bugs are fixed, and what is supposed to work and what is not supposed to work, and so. But he could be a solid S tier, just with the way how he works and what he counters and such, and he can stop survivors from escaping through the exit gate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he can stop survivors from escaping through the exit gate. Which is actually really useful.
Because the entity's blocker in the gate, they act as a wall for the power.
Yep. Which is actually quite funny. It is supposed to stop the killer from chasing the survivors, but now it can be used to slam the survivors against it, and that alone opens up support for Blood Warden. Because arrogant survivors will try and save the survivor that is close to on a hook close to the exit gate. So you could actually make a really solid endgame build with him also. So now we go to Falcon. Falcon, your turn. Give me the juicy info what you think.
I just want to say one thing, bro, because I think it's the most important.
Yeah?
I find the power fun.
Good.
Yeah. That's the most important thing.
It is fun. It is fun. I had from my first games in the BTB. I was still experimenting with the power, but I found the power immediately fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a very important thing. So and that means I really want to try and play this killer once he goes to the live servers.
In other words, shut up and take my money.
Yeah, basically. So I like him. I like the power. It's fun, and the things that the power is effective is just a bonus.
Always.
Yeah. So you have a power which is both fun and effective.
Yep. I agree. And that's
Yeah,
important.
and that is important for a new killer, basically.
Yep. Okay, now we're gonna go.
Yeah, he also has a lot of potential. We
Yes.
experimented a lot together in the PTB, and also
We discover new things.
remember the power also works, and you can interrupt survivors which are repairing generators.
Yep.
Or which are trying to cleanse your totems.
Yeah, or are healing.
Yeah. So because I think about other killers which have a cool power on the paper, but it's just boring
Yep.
and boring, unfun, and almost useless. Yeah, I'm talking about Trickster.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Wesker can protect the totems.
Yeah, and it is
Yes.
and it is not only that he's not
Yeah.
so. I mean, he can. I think he can feel really oppressive, but not super oppressive like you know who, him. You all know him, the Blight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, but Blight is stupidly designed because we got a killer that is supposed to slam against walls and such, and all of a sudden he slides against walls. But just looking down at this, like, and he doesn't have this issue. Wesker is all about pure skill. He's not about exploiting a bug or something. You just have to learn how to maneuver across the map. And once you do, Wesker is so fun then. Wesker is so fun. He can gap close and such, and if they are healing and he grabs one of the survivors, well, the other survivor will be wounded or will be in deep wound if they are already damaged. So he has a strong power in terms of multi-damaging, in terms of disabling, protecting the generators or the totems. Wesker has it all. He has no range, but it doesn't matter. He has it all. His kit is very good. He has a really solid all-round kit. Talking about his kit, let's read further what he can do more, okay?
Yep.
Okay. Special effect. Ouroboros infection. Upon being hit by virulent bound, survivors become infected. Infected builds up over time, and when fully infected, the survivor suffers from the hindered effect. You know the hindered effect? That means that the survivor will lose like 5 or 10% movement speed.
Right.
Yeah, they are slower.
So basically they become slower than the nurse. Or almost as slow as the nurse. So think about that. The nurse is like what, 88% movement speed? The nurse? And now the survivors are almost as slow as the nurse. Based in movement speed. That is crazy, that really hurts the looping ability of the survivor.
Well, and what makes it interesting also is when Nemesis would hit somebody for the first time with that T-virus,
Yeah.
not much happened.
Yep. That was the
And
big...
now
Yeah.
you get hit. It's aggressive.
Yep. Yeah, because let's look at Nemesis, and I think everyone here will agree with me. If Nemesis hits you with the dip for the first time, you get infected, but you're not getting damaged, and you get a movement speed boost. Basically.
Yeah, bro. From this point of view, Wesker's power is stronger than Nemesis.
Yep. Especially when infected, because the only thing that the infection does is make it so that the zombies can damage the survivors. And even then the zombies are useless. I mean, it's rare that you get full use of the zombies, you know. I think even Kate knows that, how much the zombies don't do their job so well when she played Nemesis. And I don't know.
They get confused sometimes.
Yeah, I think that was I don't know, maybe someone that because I know that some people that you are interacting with, Kate, play Nemesis, and but I don't know if they ever talked about it. That sometimes they feel like the zombies don't do anything or so. I don't know.
Ah.
Did they ever say anything about the zombies? Because to be honest, I really want.
No, I don't think they have. I don't think they have really said anything about them.
Yeah, because that's something that I really want to know. You know, is how is everyone's experience with zombies? Because everyone has a completely different experience with zombie. It's like for me, it is like either the zombies do something or they do something completely unexpected. But that's why I'm asking. With me, they will even go in the way, you know, that they are standing in front of you when you are carrying a survivor. And with this, you don't have it. The survivor is slow. You can easily chase them. But let's go further. If Virulent Bound grabs and slams the survivor while they are fully infected, the mastermind will automatically carry them. So basically, when fully affected, it's basically insta-down. Like the chainsaw.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So imagine, because I have a feeling that the survivors will use up all those sprays, and by the time that it is endgame, they are fully affected again, and they are trying to escape through the exit gate, you know, and they are trying to body block. And you slam that survivor against the other survivors, and then you activate like Starstruck, and then Blood Warden, and such. Oh my god, it can be so fun.
Right.
Yeah, bro, much more powerful than Nemesis power.
Yeah, way more powerful. It's like. Wesker is like Nemesis 2.0, but without the range attack and without the range attack and zombies. It's a big improvement.
Change.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like they purposely made Wesker to be competitive, so to say. You know, he feels really competitive.
Yes.
And, yeah, it's like they made him. I also feel like that since they made this new patch, I feel like that they were able to make a killer that actually performs well, and I hope he will perform so once he's released. You know, it is quite something. And I mean, this power is good. It lowers the strongest stats in the game, and that is movement speed. And movement speed is the strongest statistic in the entire game. You know? There's nothing stronger in the game than movement speed.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Right.
So, by affecting that, it will force players to heal themselves, because this is a stat that you cannot ignore. Because you cannot save the loop, you cannot do anything. Because if you think, oh, I'm gonna get to the window in time, well, you won't, because you're slowed. And if the Wesker player thinks that you got the new Dead Hard, well, good luck with that. He would just bait it out, and yeah, you're done for. He doesn't. Keep in mind, he doesn't have to use his power all the time. He can just use it to. For example, just to close the gap so that you don't get to the window, bait your Dead Hard out, and yeah, you're done for because you're slow. Because a lot of survivor players don't understand how strong movement speed is. You know? And that is also the reason that looping is so effective, because of this, not only because of the small hitbox, you know, but also because they have this consistent 100% movement speed compared to the killer. And the killer, even though the killer has more movement speed than the survivor, but because of the hitbox of the killer, it takes them longer to loop something than the survivor. The survivor is small. Even though but by lowering the movement speed of the survivor, it doesn't matter if the hitbox of the survivor is smaller than the killer will basically catch up faster now than the survivor can loop. It does not matter anymore. Basically, the power counters looping. I don't know what Falcon thinks, but that's what I say. The power counters looping a lot. The infection. What do you think, Falcon? Falcon?
K.M.K.
Yeah?
You're off and on. Your mic is cutting out a little. I don't know if at least that's how I'm hearing on my end, but I don't know if it might be the same for Falcon.
Could be my ventilator.
I can hear you clear now.
Yeah, that's because I closed a bit the door of the ventilator. Where the ventilator
Oh,
is.
very good,
Okay.
very good.
Sorry guys, there was a small technical error because I had my ventilator blowing into my mic.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
Because it's hot here. It's very hot.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sweating graphals here. So, bro.
Yeah, regarding this aspect, yeah, of course, survivors need some mean to counter the infection. So, yeah, so okay, you must have, yeah, you have a spray against this killer, but anyway, it is what it is. You need something to remove the infection.
Yeah, which makes them waste time again. But I mean, with the fact
Yeah.
that this counters looping also, because it lowers the movement speed, eh? By lowering the movement speed, it makes it harder for the survivor to loop.
Yeah. Basically, bro, I think this is more effective than the counter to Nemesis, because you don't want to be fully infected against Wesker.
Yep. Yeah, and with
That's a huge difference.
with Nemesis, you don't give a fuck that you're infected. It is just so long that you can prevent Nemesis from getting tier 2.
Right.
That is the only important thing with Nemesis. With Nemesis has the same counter as Michael. You have to delay tier 2 as long as possible.
Yes.
Yeah. Because with Michael it is like, yeah, I need to get tier 2 to be useful. You know? And with Nemesis it is the same. If he doesn't have tier 2, he cannot destroy pallets. He will be a lot weaker. And Wesker doesn't have this. Wesker does not have this issue at all. And that is good. It just means that he is, just more effective at doing his job. But let's look at the rest of what they have. Special interaction, first aid spray. At the beginning of each trial, several supply crates spawn. Each contains a first aid spray. When infected, a survivor can use the first aid spray on themselves or on another, removing the infection. Each first aid spray has a set number of charges. So yeah. So we got the first aid spray. It has a set number of charges which can range from 2 to 3, etc. Which is actually, from what, let me say it like this. I think at the end, by the time that they hit the end game, there is no first aid spray anymore.
Uh-huh.
I don't know about you guys, but that's what I think.
I agree, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. Because this is a power that you cannot ignore. They have
Right.
to use first aid spray. You don't want to be down by Wesker, you don't want to be fully affected by Wesker. Because A, if you lose movement speed, it will take longer for you to go to gen,
Yep.
or he will grab you instantly, and he will snowball. Wesker has, to be honest, Wesker has a really map pressure. Yeah, has a power with a good map pressure. To be honest, he has the mobility, and now he has also power that can basically hurt.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I think his power is also a good time waster, bro.
Yep.
Maybe not as good as big straps, but still very decent.
Yep. Very decent, yeah. And even better than that was Nemesis. Even though I love Nemesis, it's just, yeah, Nemesis power is flawed. Let's
Right.
be honest, it's very flawed. And
It's, well, you know what? It's maybe if they would have put Nemesis in when the game first came out, he would have done well.
yeah,
Considering how aggressive the survivor side is, it's tough to keep up.
yep,
Yeah, it's a lot of work. That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah, it is. And yeah, it is.
I mean, to be honest, if Wesker is a prototype of killers to come,
Yeah,
I think they're taking a really good step in the right direction.
yeah. If Wesker is a prototype, yes. To be honest, he feels like this caveman type of character right now, like this caveman type prototype. Like, okay, we're gonna bring this guy out, and we're gonna see how it works, and then we're gonna base all our killer designs and how he works on Wesker.
They might.
Because I could easily see if they ever do in the future again a nurse rework, that they give the nurse a terror radius as big as Wesker. But maybe also some other changes, because at the moment the nurse is, yeah, she has a lot of stuff going on that doesn't work now during the current meta. But I also could see Michael getting the Wesker treatment.
I could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Michael with a terror radius of 40 meters at Evil Within 3. Because this is like so good. So good. Okay guys, are you ready for the perks?
Let's go.
Are you ready, Kate?
Yep.
Okay, the first perk, Superior Anatomy. Decades of research have culminated in you. Something faster, stronger and more dangerous than any human. When a survivor performs a fast vault within 8 meters of you, this perk activates. The next time you vault a window, your vaulting speed is increased by 40%. This perk has a cooldown of 30 seconds. What do you guys think of a Superior Anatomy? And we start with Falcon.
Okay. We got a nice cheese perk, I see. Yeah, because you know, bro, I like a lot of things about this perk because first it doesn't have a limited duration.
True.
So once it is active, you can use it as you wish.
That's true.
Yeah, so I like this a lot. And you know, the vaulting speed bonus is crazy.
Oh
We
yeah,
get
that's
40% increase. That's a lot.
There's more than Bamboozle, eh?
Yeah, don't forget that Bamboozle is 15%.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. So you can and you can still combo this perk with yeah, why not with the Bamboozle or Fire Up.
True.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe yeah. Imagine this perk used on Myers. You will be the Vault Master.
Yeah,
Right.
Vault Masker, Super Vault Masker, God
Yeah.
Myers.
Yeah, and another point is that the cooldown is decent.
Yeah, I see
So it
Michael
is
My. I
yeah
see.
yeah because I was afraid of getting a very long cooldown, but yeah, 30 seconds is just fair.
Yeah, I see Michael Myers already with Super Saiyan hair.
Haha.
Oh man, that would be epic. Super Saiyan Myers. uh,
Yeah,
yeah, with
and also the nice thing is it will be natural to use this perk, bro.
yep.
Yeah, you don't have any activation condition. Yeah, you just need to be in chase with the survivor, which is vaulting a window. So it's natural for you as a killer.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, very good perk.
I agree. I completely agree with you guys, with you, Falcon. What do you have to say about this perk, Kate?
Yeah, I think it's interesting, especially, for active play. We were just saying there were a lot of end game
Yep.
perks and everything, and I think this is good for,
During the
can
game.
help.
During the game,
Yeah,
yeah.
during the game, right?
Yeah, I mean, especially since you are dealing with, you played Michael, and I think that you could see a lot of use of this, right?
Right?
You
Yeah.
as Michael player, maybe you'd say, well, there are other perks that are better, but it is. I think for you, it's like you know, this is a perk that you would say yes, I will give it a try
Right.
at least once. I could see it being used on Legion, even though Legion doesn't need it. I could see it being used on killers that are really weak in the chase also.
Right.
Like, I don't know who, but I will think of someone later. So I have nothing else to add. Do you guys have anything to add, or can we just go to the next perk?
We can go on.
Okay, because the next perk I find personally extremely interesting. A Vacant Awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Your genes have been altered to heightened senses in your intense situations. When carrying a survivor, you can see the aura of other survivors within 20 meters of your position. Auras revealed that way stay visible for 2 seconds after you stop carrying the survivor. This perk is amazing.
It is, bro.
And we're gonna first let Kate talk about it. What do you think?
I think it's amazing for 20 meters.
Yeah, 20 meters is a lot.
Well,
There's I mean, you are only missing like 12 meters for the full terror radius, but think
yeah,
about
but
it.
I mean, then we're dealing with the exact opposite of a survivor perk that's all of the skill or your struggle is going to be paused for 30 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I see 20 meters and I'm thinking, I think it's great that we get the 2 seconds after. That's nice.
Yeah, but keep in
20
mind,
meters.
this is when carrying a survivor, eh?
Yeah.
So think about it if you have perks like Starstruck.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. You will see a survivor, for example, hiding behind a wall, ready to unhook the survivor that you just placed there.
Uh-huh.
Or the survivor with the flashlight.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
You get a
Or bro, also important, a survivor with a sabotage toolbox.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
I
bro,
see.
this perk is
Yeah.
really cool because Yeah, regarding the distance, yeah, you can say that 20 meters is not a lot. Let me remember you something.
Yeah.
Engman's trick or it
Mhm.
was 16 meters, bro.
Yep.
Remember, and it was nerfed to oblivion, and now it is 6 meters because it was
Oh,
overpowered.
Yep.
yeah.
And another example, compound 21 of the blight. It was 16 meters. It
Yep.
was nerfed.
Yep.
So 20 meters is okay.
Yep.
And yeah, let me say that also I like this perk because it has no cooldown.
True. It is dependent on if you're down to survival, yes or no.
Yeah. So no cooldown. You can use it as many times as you wish.
Yep.
And you can counter a lot of for example, if you see survivors going for sabotaging your hook, you will know it because 20 meters is a lot.
Yeah. And if you have
And you can just go to another hook.
yeah. And
Yeah.
if you cannot do it and you have, for example, Starstruck, you can always drop the survivor and start chasing the guy that is.
Yeah. So basically, bro, I think this perk is Engman's Trick 2.0.
Yeah. Yeah. 2.0. Dit is actually good. It is basic gameplay. That's all what it is. Basic gameplay, and that is actually what you need. Dit is actually
Yeah, and it is natural for you to use. So once again, bro, a very simple perk. It is very simple, and it is also, let me say, healthy for the game because if you see other survivors with this perk, you are not going to camp.
yep.
Yeah, so this perk it makes killers not camping.
Yeah, it basically
Yes.
force killers to start trying to gain hooks instead of camping and tunneling.
Yeah. And also, I find it funny, bro. It is the opposite, almost the opposite of a barbecue.
Yep, it is.
Right.
Yeah, basically you can combo this perk with barbecue.
Yeah. We will give a build for that. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's just a good perk overall. You know. I mean, it has no flaws. The only flaw that it has is the simple fact that you have to pick a survivor up.
Right.
Yeah,
But-
exactly. And don't forget that while you are bringing the survivor to the hook, you are also traveling, through the map.
Yep.
Yeah, so you get even more information. It is not a static information. This is dynamic information.
Yep.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It
I think this is the best perk of Wesker.
Basically, you could hook a survivor close by if you see another survivor there, and you can be like, okay, instead of bringing him to that hook, I'm gonna hook him here, and then I will chase that survivor that I just spotted.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or imagine if the hook is near a generator, you will know that there are survivors repairing that generator because you will see their aura.
Yep.
Yeah. Bro, wonderful perk.
Wonderful. The best perk that they have released. This perk
Ooh.
alone, yeah. This perk and this one, these two,
Uh-huh.
are like one of the best perks that you can have for a killer that needs to chase. Because this fixes some killers that has weak chase ability,
Right.
and this one helps with getting into chases and stop them from camping or tunneling. Well, depends, because there are killers that are like, oh, someone's unhooked, I need to go back to down them again. It's like, you still have those idiots who have to tunnel and camp as hard as they can. So yeah, but at least this will help good players like us, We would like to try and get as many hooks as possible. We would like to go into many chases and such, because with this you actually be able to put on pressure. And that is what you want. You want to put on pressure. And that is what killers that are camping don't do. They don't bring on pressure or something. They just stand on one spot, insidious, nodding their head, you know, and waiting for the poor fuck that is coming to unhook the survivor in the basement. And then in the meantime, everyone is fixing the generator. So yeah. So let's go to the next perk. Terminus. You are a brilliant tactician who prepares for every eventuality. When exit gates are powered, this perk activates. While Terminus is active, injured, downed and hooked survivors are inflicted with the broken status effect until the exit gates are open. When exit gates are open, survivors will stay broken for an additional 30 seconds. What do you guys think of this perk?
It's interesting for, I think killers that need some help at the end.
Yeah.
That last chance. Yeah.
True. To be honest, I don't find it that good of a perk. But yeah, it counters perks like...
bro, it's an end game perk.
Yeah.
So, my opinion, I prefer perks which helps you during the game.
Yep.
But, anyway, this perk can find some good use because first it counters adrenaline.
Yep.
So, yeah, the first point, if survivors decide to rush generators because okay, I have adrenaline, no problem, I can rush while injured, you will completely counter their adrenaline.
Yeah, but keep in mind, it still works when they are on the ground, adrenaline.
I know.
It's just, it is just extremely situational, that's all.
Yeah, it's, this another perk similar to Tarantophobia. So basically, I think only Legion and Plague will get the maximum value from Terminus.
Yeah.
But it can, this perk can be interesting in some builds, because also if survivors want to heal, because if you are camping the one survivor in the end game and they are injured, they have to open the exit gate if they want to heal and try to save.
Yep.
So this could be also good in combo with the Blood Warden.
Yep. Or with No Way Out.
Also, yeah.
Because so long that the exit gates are not open, they cannot heal themselves.
But you can't open the exit gate and you can't heal also.
Yeah, so you are forced.
Yes. It's okay. Situational perk, but can be fun in some builds.
Yep. Especially for killers that don't have anything that can help them in the end game. Basically,
Right.
Terminus helps killers like Huntress, Trickster.
Yeah, and there is another good point, bro, because it is different from Noid. Because remember, Survivor can destroy your Noid.
True.
Yeah, but they can't remove Terminus.
That's
Right.
true. They have to open the
Yeah.
exit gate for that.
Yeah, they have to open,
And if you are smart, for example, you are a trapper that has this. You put a trap with bloody coal by by the exit gate. They have to remove the trap. They will be affected by bloody coal, so they are wounded, and they have no way out on. So you still have value from it.
Wow.
And if you have iridescent stone, the trap will reset itself again.
Ah.
Basically. So it's you can basically make it extremely annoying for the survivor.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is all I have to say. Do you guys have anything to add?
I don't think.
And you, Falcon?
Me too, bro. Me too.
Okay, then we will go now to the survivor side of the video, and we will see you all there. Bye.